Hello and welcome to another healthy recipe. Today we're going to be making a different kind of salad. It's a chopped salad with a homemade green goddess dressing. You do kind of need a lot of ingredients, but the good thing is that it can be flexible. You can substitute things you don't have and you can change it around and it'll still be delicious. So first we're going to start with some cabbage, and depending on how much you want to make, depends on how much cabbage you use. So about half a head of cabbage, green cabbage, will make about 4 servings. And so you can go from there. You can also, if you don't have cabbage, use lettuce, right? Romaine lettuce, iceberg lettuce, whatever you have. So we're going to chop up our cabbage. So I cut out the stem of the cabbage. So you can see there's like a little indent here, and just to make it more manageable, I'm just working on half of the cabbage. So we want to get it really small pieces. That's what we're going for. So I have my bowl to the side here, and I'm just going to slice it, and you want to be, again, very careful. And I kind of just hold it, but just be very careful. And to make it more manageable, I'm just gonna stop there. The chopping and the prep is kind of what takes the longest, but it's so worth it, I promise. So then I'm gonna turn it sideways, and I'm just going to chop it like this. And you want to remember to tuck your fingers under, right? Practice knife safety. And it's okay if some pieces are bigger, if it gets kind of crazy. We just generally want the smaller pieces. So again, just tucking your fingers under. Take your time. Prepping food like this, chopping food and washing and cooking can be kind of meditative. You can find peace in focusing on something outside of what you're used to focusing on. So I'll sometimes pop in my headphones, listen to some music or a podcast, and just do my prep work, and I find it very relaxing. So I have some of my cabbage done. So I'm gonna put this in my bowl, and I'm gonna do the rest of the cabbage. But do you see the size of this cabbage? That's perfect. So now I'm gonna do the rest of the cabbage. Okay, so we've got all of our cabbage, which is, again, half a head. So if you're using iceberg lettuce, again, you would just use half of the lettuce head. If you're using romaine lettuce, this is probably about 3 hearts. Again, you just want to chop it up fine. And now we're going to work on scallions. So I have here some like scallions, green onion. I already cut off the head and washed them, and then I just chopped them in half to make it more manageable. So those are going to be hard to cut. Now we're just going to slice these, and we're going to try to go pretty thin, because we just want small pieces. Keep your fingers tucked and move them down as you go. Take your time, right? Especially if you're not used to chopping or dicing or using a knife, just take your time. You don't have to go fast. We want to be safe. Okay, and you can, these pieces I knew were gonna be a little bit harder to chop. So I'm just going in and doing them after. Okay, if you have some bigger pieces, you can go in, make them smaller. Again, just be careful. You can also just take your knife and do that. Now we're gonna add this to our cabbage. This was about 1.5 bunches. If you don't like onion, you don't have to include it. You can use celery instead, or carrots, you know. If you don't have green onion, you can definitely do a red onion or a little bit of a white onion. So again, easy to substitute, and it'll still give it a good flavor. Next we have mini cucumbers. So I cut off the ends, and if you don't have mini cucumbers, regular cucumbers will work too. Mini cucumbers are just a little bit easier to slice. So I'm gonna show you how I do that on one, and then I'm gonna go ahead and do the rest. So we wanna be very careful. Take your time. You're gonna hold the cucumber and just slice it down. Be very careful of your fingers, and if you have a slice like this that's still pretty thick, just take that slice and slowly cut it. So I have thin slices here, and then I'm gonna turn it sideways. I'll show you on one piece. And do it again. So now I have like these long kind of pieces, and then you just go in and chop them. Again, keep your fingertips tucked, take your time, you don't have to go fast. Again, we just want to be safe. So I'll show you again on these pieces. I'm just going to slice it down again, going slow, and then, oops. Okay. Then we're just going to cut it. And it makes like these little squares. That's what we're looking for. If you have to go slice by slice, do that. Do whatever you're comfortable with. All right, and now I'm gonna do the rest off camera. But I'm gonna use 4 mini cucumbers, or if you have 1 or 2 big cucumbers, you can use that. Okay, so the cucumbers are in. I also added some celery. This is our salad. So you don't have to worry about mixing it now. We're gonna focus on making the dressing now. So I have a blender, and to our blender, we're going to add 1/4 cup of oil, olive oil or avocado oil, whatever oil you like. I wouldn't recommend like a vegetable oil. cup of that. Then we're going to add some garlic. If you have fresh garlic, you can use that too. You need about 2 cloves. Again, if you don't like garlic, you don't have to include this. If you don't have fresh garlic, add some garlic powder. Then we're going to add some spinach. If you have fresh basil, you can do that. We just need about 2 cups. So you can do 2 cups of just fresh baby spinach. You could do two cups of basil, 1 cup of spinach, 1 cup of basil, whatever you have. Then we're going to add some lemon juice. If you have fresh lemons, fresh squeezed lemon juice is always best. But if you don't, this works too. Just lemon juice and about the juice of 2 fresh squeezed lemons, which if you look on your container, it'll tell you how much that is. So it says it right here, and it says 1/2 cup of this equals 1/2 cup of fresh lemon juice. Or if you're looking for about how much juice you get from 1 lemon, it says 3 tablespoons. So I'm gonna do 6 tablespoons to get the juice of 2 lemons. So we're gonna do 6, 2, 3, 4, 5, and it's just like an estimate. As you saw, like extra was falling out. That's fine, not a big problem. Now we're going to add 1 shallot. If you don't have a shallot, you can add extra of the green onions. You can add extra onion, or you could throw even some onion powder in here, but we're gonna use a fresh shallot. And I'm going to do that by just chopping off the ends. And then I'm just peeling off the skin and throwing that whole thing right in here. So again, on this side, I'm just taking off the outer layer. There we go. I'm putting that right in here in our blender. Excellent. And we're gonna add a splash of rice vinegar. If you don't have rice vinegar, you could do white vinegar, balsamic vinegar. There we go. And then we're gonna add in some cashews. This is about a 1/4 cup. I might do a half more. If you don't have cashews, again, any nut, almond, walnuts. If you're allergic to nuts, you can take this out and just add a little bit of the extra oil. You can also add an avocado in. And now we're going to add some nutritional yeast. So you can get this at really any store anymore. ShopRite has it, Whole Foods, Trader Joe's, I think. We're gonna add a 1/4 cup. If you don't have nutritional yeast, which not a lot of people have it on hand, this is just to make the dressing vegan, and it gives it a cheesy flavor. So you can definitely just add cheese. You can add some Parmesan cheese, and it's kind of like the same consistency. So a little bit of the nutritional yeast goes a long way. Also, this is really good on popcorn. If you just pop some fresh popcorn and then sprinkle some nutritional yeast on it, it kind of does give it like a cheesy flavor. It's really good. All right, so now we're going to blend all these ingredients together. Okay, I blended it twice, and it looks like I still have a few pieces of whole spinach. So I'm going to just push those down and blend it again. I'm also gonna add some chives to the dressing. So I'm gonna throw this in the blender and blend it all together. Okay, it's all blended. So there's a lot on the lid, and I'm just gonna scrape that off, and I'm gonna put this in our salad. So I have our salad. And I'm just gonna pour the dressing on top. And I'm gonna mix. Using 2 utensils can help you mix it better. We want to coat all of the greens. So while we're doing this, we can talk about other substitutions you can make. You can add in some green peppers. I think the theme, because this is a green goddess salad, is what it's called. And you might have actually seen this recipe on Good Morning America the other day. But you want to kind of keep the veggies green, but honestly, it doesn't matter. It's just going to change the way it looks. So if you don't like any of the green vegetables, add in some red peppers, add in some carrots, add in your favorite veggies. I just really like this salad because we often don't eat a lot of cabbage, and cabbage is really good. If you're not getting enough iron and protein, the greens can really help add some of that into your diet as well. So this is just a delicious way to eat more raw veggies without really feel like you're eating raw veggies. And then there's one last step to this salad that I know everybody's really gonna like. So I'm just gonna get the rest of this dressing out, put it on the salad, and I'll show you the last step. Okay, so I separated the salad into 4 servings. And the best part about the salad is the person who created this recipe likes to eat it with a side of chips. So I have some organic blue chips, and you just use it like a dip. So here you go. It's a great way to maybe eat some greens you wouldn't normally eat. Get some extra vitamins and minerals, and it's delicious. So I hope you enjoy, and I hope you try it. Have a great weekend.